This is media literacy. Objectives and outcomes define ethics and copyright and how these apply when using the internet. Describe fair use as it applies to the internet and publish web pages. Discuss the complexities of ethical uses of technology. The key standards are supported. The key standards supported. So, what is media literacy? When trying to understand the term media literacy, we need to look at each word separately. First, media, which is the actual plural form of medium, it means all channels of communication. So that could be anything from printed paper to digital data, something we would find on the internet. Literacy means the ability to read and write. So put the words together, we are able to access, analyze, and evaluate all these types of different um, channels of communication, and we're able to understand them and get the information from them. All the ways that large groups of people get and share information. So, we watch TV, we read books, the internet, newspapers, phones. Most of us have to use critical thinking skills when trying to interpret this information. So, some guiding principles for technology use that I like to use in the classroom. A guiding principle number one, technology. When used appropriately, it can be a fantastic tool for learning. Number two, technology should be used to increase access to learning opportunities for all children or students. Principle number three, technology may be used to strengthen relationships among parents, families, early educators, and young children. And number four, technology is more effective for learning when adults and peers interact or co view with young children. So, young children should not be allowed just access to the internet without an adult to supervise. So, within the classroom, you need to learn to be a good digital citizen. Um, but even outside of the classroom, these rules should still apply. Most of our time during the day is spent on some sort of device. In the classroom, we are going to be using iPads or Chromebooks, so you need to learn how to respect those devices. You need to learn how to use the technology responsibly. Being on the internet, you're going to come in contact with things that may or may not be age appropriate for you. You only need to talk to people you know, and you don't need to post anything that you don't want others to see. And you want to definitely treat others how you want to be treated. So, just like if you're interacting with someone face to face, that's how you should act. You should be respectful of them the same way online. Cyberbullying has definitely been a big issue. I know lots of students will have conversations outside of the classroom, and then, you know, somebody said something hateful over a game or a text message, and then it gets brought to school. So, those are examples of cyberbullying. So, if someone's like saying something ugly to you over a text message, that is an example of cyberbullying, and you need to tell somebody. Um, you are responsible for the technology that you use, and that means that you treat others with respect. To prevent cyberbullying, you need to report it, even if you're not the one being bullied. So if your friend comes to you and says so and so is being mean to me, you need to tell somebody, or at least get them to tell, or try to tell, and maybe go with them, and tell the adult with them to make them feel more comfortable. Um, so, with using technology, you need to be responsible. Make sure you take care of your device. You are provided a device at school. You need to be you're responsible for that device if something happens to it. Only use your school device for school purpose. So, unless the teacher gives you permission, don't be playing games. You need to be doing your assignments. Don't get on inappropriate websites, and don't use another student's device without their permission. Stay safe. So, this is a big one. Don't ever give your password to anyone, even if it's your friend. Don't post personal information. If you have Snapchat, or if you have Facebook, Instagram, you don't need to be putting yourself out there, especially, underage, because there's just bad people out there, and if they want to talk to you, they'll try and talk to you. So that brings me to the next one. Don't agree to meet anyone that you've met online. You don't know who they are. You might think it's, someone your same age, but it could be an adult that's trying to, meet you. So let's not do that unless you have parental approval. Speak to someone if anyone said anything that makes you uncomfortable, something that's inappropriate that they shouldn't be telling you, if it makes you feel weird or icky or anything, be sure to tell somebody. Don't just keep that to yourself, okay? A parent or a teacher or somebody, an adult, needs to know that so that it can be handled properly. Think first. So think before you post anything. In this day and age, employers, I know my employers, they check Facebook to make sure that you don't have any, inappropriate posts on your Facebook, or, anything. They that kind of stuff follows you. And so you need to be sure to think about it before you post it. Anything that you post online can be copied. It's going to be viewed, and people can share it. So even through text messages, you send an ugly text message to somebody, inappropriate picture, somebody can screenshot that picture, and then they can send it to whoever they want. There's no stopping it. Make sure the source you have is credible. So there's a lot of fake stuff out there, and a lot of times people don't really check it, and so they'll just share it without even, and then it starts this whole big thing. And then you're going to feel dumb when you realize that it's not true. So not everything you see is real, and so you just need to give it a double look. And then give credit to sources that you use. So that brings me to, what is fair use? Fair use is defined as it permits a party to use a copyrighted work without the copyright owner's permission for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. This graphic shows us all these different factions of it. Commercial value of original is not diminished. New work is predominantly original product of user. Benefit to user is predominantly other than commercial. New work is critique, satire, or education, and only a small portion of original material is used. So that allows it to be fairly used. Okay, so from the website Common Sense, I liked this because fair and square. So it says it's more likely to be fair use if the purpose of the new work is educational, or the original work is transformed into something very different. The nature of the original work is nonfiction or based on fact rather than creative or fictional. The effect of the new work does not include any negative impact on the creator or the value of the original work. So think money. And then the last one, the amount used is only a small portion of the original work or does not include the heart of the work. So some common examples of things that you can, that's fair use, schoolwork or education, criticizing or commenting on it, news reporting, or comedy. Okay, so copyright. This is a big one. When someone creates something, there are laws in place that are going to help protect your work. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't take something and then you can take something and then make it your own, but you can't just take something from somebody else that has created it and then make it your own. Okay, that's against the law. You need permission from the person who created the piece of work before you copy, paste, alter, or share it. So, copyright. I love this little infographic. It says, "Can I use copyrighted song in my video?" And it gives you a checklist, yes or no. So it says if the video is for educational purposes, yes. If you're not sharing the video publicly. So a lot of times you'll run into on Facebook, you put a song in a video, they won't allow you to upload the video because of the music. And then it says, is it for personal use? Yes. They're not gonna, can I use copyrighted song in my video? No, if you're putting the video on a public blog, website, social media, YouTube, or if you're sharing the video at a public event. So this is just ethical responsibilities. So you cannot use music that is not your own in these other situations. Now, copyright rules to remember. Just because you found it online doesn't mean it's free to use, even if you're a teacher or a student. Now, what happens is a lot of times you'll just find something and then want to use it as your own. You'll want to give credit where credit is due. Number two, there are a lot of resources you can use freely, including work that has a Creative Commons license or is in the public domain. Number three, you have a right as a creator to have your work protected from copying, and you can also give your own content a Creative Commons license. So if you want to copyright your work, you are more than welcome to do that. If in doubt about using content, ask the creator for permission, find an alternative, purchase an alternative, or make your own material. And a lot of times, making your own, it's going to be time consuming, but better than using something that you did not create. Number five, instead of looking for loopholes, consider whether you're being the most responsible and ethical digital citizen you can be. So, now we're going to get into news or media. So, again, going back to posting something in today's society, news is going to spread fast. So you want to be the best digital citizen you can. You've got to remember to analyze what you're seeing. If you're not looking at it and you're just posting it because you thought it looked cool, or you're like, oh, I want to be the first one to post it, you are going to make bad decisions. Okay. So, real or fake? I love this again from Common Sense. It says, why might information you find on the internet not be true? And so a lot of times you'll find editorials, satire, or hoaxes. I know, a hoax. I saw one the other day where somebody had said that a movie star had passed away. You'll see that a lot. So editorials are articles or blogs that are meant to persuade the reader of the author's opinion, which may include bias or leave out important facts. So they're trying to persuade you to think like them and to get you on their side, whether they're right or wrong. But they're going to leave out important information, and so you need to do more research on it. Satire. I love satire. Websites or articles that are meant to be funny by making fun of a subject and which often includes statements that are untrue. And so a lot of times you'll see, this about a president or, something political. Hoaxes, articles that are meant to fool the reader into believing that something isn't true by trying to be as realistic, believing that, I'm sorry, articles that are meant to fool the reader into believing something that isn't true by trying to be as realistic as possible. So, again, like a movie star dying or something, they give you this, incredible uh, hook, and they make you click it, and so then they have this unreal situation, and it didn't even happen. Okay. Again, from Common Sense, it says, how credible is it? So, fake news is information. The information is very surprising, even unbelievable. Website is biased or is not part of a credible news, academic, or governmental organization. The author's bio or previous articles show bias on the issue. Key points cannot be corroborated by other credible sites. Questionable. So this means that it could be believable, but not all the way. So information may be surprising, but is not unbelievable. Website is not part of a credible news, academic, or governmental organization. So again, you need to do some more research. Author's bio or previous articles may show bias, or the article is an editorial or opinion piece, and key points can be corroborated. And then credible news, which again is thumbs up. Information may or may not be surprising, but makes sense. Website is part of a credible news, academic, or governmental organization. Author has no clear bias on the issue, and the article is not an editorial or opinion piece. And all key points can be corroborated by credible websites.